Okay, so the first step that I do for my makeup is I start off with a primer. I use nothing fancy, honestly. Everything is from H-E-B or from the drugstore. This is the e.l.f. Poreless face primer. So I'm just gonna do a couple pumps. I do about 3 pumps because a little bit does go a long way.
I really like this primer, especially if you have dry skin, because it really helps with like your flaky skin if your foundation likes to flake off a lot, especially around the mouth area. I really like this primer.
And then the next thing I go in with is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte 24-hour wear foundation. I suck with the names of this. I just grab it and I go. So bear with me in remembering what to tell you guys and what I use, because I'll forget. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a couple swirlies on my face. One thing you gotta learn about me is I am a total goofball. It doesn't really matter like who I'm with. I mean, sometimes like I'm chill, but I'm a total goofball all the time. So it kind of depends on who I'm with. Anyway, the next I'm going to use is my Real Techniques Beauty Blender, and I dampen this. I wet it. I completely wet it, but I make sure to squeeze all the water out before I use it.
I'm just going to pat everything in. I forgot what I was talking about, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Ain't that a shame. So I just continue patting everything in.
It's always blend on my neck. That is the most important part. So the next thing I take is the L'Oreal Infallible 16 Wear Powder. And my shade is in the shade. Oh, I don't think it doesn't tell me a shade. Sorry. It gives me a matte finish, which I really do like a lot because it goes super well with this foundation. And I just pat.
And honestly, I don't really use like expensive brushes. Everything, all my brushes, I think I got like on Wish, if I'm being completely honest.
So for my eyebrows, I use a dupe of the Anastasia Beverly Hills because I have it, yes, but
If I can get it open, oh my god. Oh my god!
and I'm almost done with it. So I'm not going to be using that one today. I have a dupe for it, and it is the Milani, basically the Stay Put brow color. And my color is in the shade dark brown. It doesn't look too dark brown now, but it comes out really good on my skin tone. So then I'm going to go in with a Sephora eyeliner brush. Number 22 maybe? I don't know. That's what it says on here. It's a pro angle eyeliner brush. However, I use it for my eyebrows. So I'm going to just go in here and put the product on the brush, and I kind of go side to side a couple times because now I'm gonna carve my eyebrows out, and I really hope you can see me doing this because I'm new to this whole camera thing and I'm recording with my iPhone. So
I just outline. Make sure to get that curve. My goal is to get like the most cohesive lines possible. Oh, sorry. So I try and get the straightest lines possible. And this is why it takes so long.
in the tail of your brow, I just take a dip in the powder. I mean, in the, what the hell do you call it? The
Pomade.
and I just, one line. That's it. I just do it once, but I make sure I line it up. And once you get to the front of your brow, you're gonna want to line it at the bottom and then pull up. So I'm gonna take a spoolie and I'm gonna brush. So I'm here with my other eyebrow.
I still can't fucking talk.
So the next thing I'm gonna get into is the eyes. so my secret weapon. Here we go. I'm gonna teach you guys how to use some tape. So this is just regular Scotch tape that I bought from like the dollar store or something. And I get a piece about that long. I know it's kind of weird, but you know, trust me. And I go under my lash line and I just go out. And now for the eyes. I'm using the, kind of dirty, sorry, Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is by BH Cosmetics, and it comes with all of these gorgeous, gorgeous to die for shades. So I'm going to be using this palette as well as this Wet n Wild palette. I told you I don't use a lot of expensive makeup. I'm going to use this Wet n Wild palette, and I'm probably going to be using this maroon color here as well as this black. One other color I will be using, wow, absolutely gorgeous shade. I love it. The shade that I'm going to be going in with is this one individual one by NYX, and I'm going to go in with a MAC 224 brush. And I'm just going to pack it on there. I'm going to tap the excess off. And I'm just going to be blending literally everywhere. This is going to be my transition color. Honestly, if I'm like how to learn certain not be used like a and I saw and it's really like my don't mom did this and I did a lot, but I don't like to hear like in the house I would have to do it and like so to buy makeup and I would hear the wrinkles from like just deal with this is money until some here or the dogs also that okay. The next shade I'm going in with is going to be this red shade, and I'm probably going to do this on a different brush, so give me a second. Go back in with this red right here in this BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm just going to kind of like brighten this. Then I have this other brush that I'm going to be using in this Wet n Wild palette. This deep maroon color is going to be going in this inner corner. And then I will take a smaller brush like this, more compact one, and I will dab it in this black. And I will just put it in the corner right here and kind of make an eyeliner with it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a cut crease. Not a full cut crease, but I'm going to do kind of like a halfway cut crease until I reach about right here. This e.l.f., it's supposed to be an eyeshadow primer, but honestly, I use it not as a concealer, but I use it when I do cut creases. Why? I don't really know. And then I use a concealer brush like this. And then I continue to use as much as I need to get a nice like cut. And I'm going to take this Wet n Wild, this one right here, on a like flat angled brush. Go back in with this brush right here and just kind of blend out any harsh lines that you have. Next thing I'm going to do is use some eyeliner. It is this NYX Vinyl Liquid Liner, and it looks like this. So I start And this is where I tell you this tape is your BFF. Because I can get such a pretty winged eyeliner when I use tape.
And then just do the wing and do what I need to do, I guess. Like, make sure my line is straight. Oh my god, I just started. It's very thick. There you go. I'll do the liner on that side. Do the liner on this side.
Alrighty, and now we take this off. Both sides. And now I have a really nice wing on both sides. And I think they're even. Now I'm just gonna take this and apply it along the lash line. Okay, another trick is if I can't hold my eye open like that, I take my finger and I'll pull my eyes like that. It's kind of thick.
Wow.
And the next thing that I do is I go in with a gel eyeliner and I go for my bottom lash line. This is the Cleon Color Smoke and Gel Eyeliner. I've had this for so long, and I'm kind of careless with it. To make the colors a little bit more cohesive, I'll go in again with this, and just honestly like a Q-tip, and it works just the same. Alright, and then the next thing that I do is mascara. I use the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. And I do one layer on top, just one. Makes them more voluminous. So the next thing that I do is I go in with concealer. So I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is actually my absolute favorite concealer. Before this, I didn't wear concealer. I don't conceal my eyebrows just because I didn't feel like I needed it. And then I go in with the same beauty blender. And then the next thing I have is this AIRSPUN translucent powder that I use to bake my eyes. Bake my under eyes, not bake my eyes. And the next thing that I do is my bottom lash line. And I wait until this powder's on just in case I mess up because it's real easy just to kind of wipe it off. This is the MAC False Lash Mascara. This is a gift. And it works pretty good for your bottom lash line. Alright, and then the next thing that I do is I brush all of this excess off. And then go in with a bronzer. I've used the MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. And I go in on a contour brush. And I start there and I work my way down into my hairline. I make sure my hairline is pretty much all bronzed.
Especially up there. You know, I don't want to look like I have a big forehead. Just like that.
Then I will take a Milani brush.
Blush.
This is in the shade Tea Rose, and I take this on a MAC 168 brush, and I'll just swirl it. Last two things I guess that I do is in this little tiny Clinique palette. It's pretty cute. I use the little brush they gave me, and in this little highlight shade, I go here in my inner corners because it looks super good, and then I highlight my brow bone. And last but not least, some highlighter. Use this from a Profusion contour palette that I got from Ross. It was $10, and it has all of this, and it's really dirty over here, I'm sorry. And I use this beautiful, beautiful highlight shade